Alright, welcome back to Nick Lenz Comic Corner, Classic Lots of Non-Classics. This is episode number 3359, Doubleshot number 3259. Now, we have a DC trade, we have an IDW trade. First up we have is Absolute Wonder Woman! Volume 1, The Last Amazon. This collects the first 6 issues of the series. Yeah, believe it or not, the third Absolute title I reviewed. I'm reviewing now, yeah, because first I reviewed the first trade of Absolute Batman, and then Absolute Superman, now Wonder Woman's turn. Now, when I first saw this look for him, I didn't mind the look at all, except that, what's up with the treble tattoo? Now, I actually did tweet Kelly Thompson about this. I asked her this, are you going to basically have a story explain where she got this tattoo that she has? And she says, yes, she is going to do that. Not the first time I tweeted her about something. Last time I tweeted about anything was actually the Captain Marvel, the last major series she worked on, which I love that title. That run was amazing. That is just my honest opinion anyways. It's surprising that run lasted for 50 issues, which is about the same length as Ms. Marvel Volume 2, which was Carol's second ongoing series she ever had. I mentioned about 200, like 200 issues? No, 200 overall for Carol Danvers. Like, oh, okay. Yeah, and then Alyssa Wong, when she took over the title, she got close, but not close enough for some reason. I even mentioned, like, 50 is the last issue. Like, yep. Last one, 50. I was kind of bummed out the fact that we had ended 50 issues. This book was really good. I could have felt this out basically when she wrote that book. Like, there probably was so much more story she can tell, but probably she wanted to leave because probably was time. She's been looking for 4 years, was awesome. But now she's on this book. Now, I have not heard anything negative related to Kelly Thompson per se, but here's kind of the weird thing with Kelly Thompson. Of all the books she wrote comics, here's kind of the weird thing related to her writing comic books. Only Captain Marvel lasted more than about a year and a half. Everything else managed to last for like 12, I think like Kage lasts for 16 issues. But it's like, does Marvel not care for all her books? Very much at all. Like, she did, of course, Hawkeye. She did West Coast Avengers. She's done several books. I mean, one of her favorite characters she loved writing was Jeff the Land Shark. Heck, she did run for Deadpool, which was a lot of fun. Except the end of the book at 10 issues, and then she's like the whole thing, he's the king of Staten Island, and then once the book ends, basically, there's no mention of him anymore. It's like they just ignored that. Not sure why. But we have here Absolute Wonder Woman. Yes. Now, of course, yeah, like I mentioned, Kelly Thompson, the writer, with Hayden Sherman on and Matt Latias on the artwork. Here's a close look at the outfit, which is really interesting. It's like the top portion of the outfit is heavily inspired by the New 52 attire, minus the collar. Alright. It's a combination of that and probably the outfit Dave Finch designed for her for his brief time on when his wife was the writer of the book from issues 36 to 52 of the, not the current volume for Wonder Woman, oh no, 2 volumes ago. It was the run that started with 52. So Wonder Woman was in an original city called Gateway City. Now, I have pointed this out to my friend Jay Heat about this. Wonder Woman is definitely a character in DC Comics who, she's never had a specific city she's always set in. She's always in different cities. She's in New York, she's in DC, she's in Paris, London. She's all over the place. Gateway City is probably the most original thing. It's kind of similar with Supergirl, where, like, either Metropolis, Chicago, or National City. It's not like the male superheroes where they all have specific cities. Batman's got Gotham City. Superman's got Metropolis. Hal Jordan, Green Lantern, has got Coast City. Barry on Flash has got Central City. Jay Garrick Waldo West got Keystone City. Though Wally also, when he was Kid Flash, he had Blue Valley. Let's see. I'm trying to think who else basically had Pacific Cities from DC Comics. Ray Palmer the Atom, he had Ivy Town. Hawkman's had a couple different places, but mostly he's especially with Midway City. Though in the 2000s he went to St. Rock for some reason. Not sure why, this is what Jeff Johns said. But that's kind of what he's been associated with. Let's see. The Knight family has been associated with Opal City, which is generally their hometown. As a matter of fact, basically, James Gunn has developed that city so much throughout his 80-issue series for Starman. But Wonder Woman has never had a city she's been very long. Like, it always changes. And the original reason is because basically her secret identity as Diana Prince served in the military. So basically she goes all over the place. So we have this unknown object over Gateway City, this upside pyramid. And it's basically unleashing Wonder Woman. And then we kind of have, excuse me, the birth. We have basically, years ago, the Wild, basically it's probably this version of Themyscira, where we have what looks like to be this world's version of Polita given a young Diana. And it's all about Sun God anyways, and of course see her grow up, of course, throughout this period of time, getting her famous armor that she has, fights the monsters from this pyramid. And throughout this book, she meets this world's version of Cheetah, Barbara Minerva, who's not the Cheetah, Eda Candy. Excuse me. And then, of course, basically... actually, no, it wasn't Apollo. The red-haired woman was actually Cersei. Yeah, Diana in this world is played by Cersei the Sorceress. And then, of course, she runs into this world version of Steve Trevor. Where it's like, should I save them? And she's pulled by an octopus. Look at me, saves her. Yep. Excuse me. Yeah. And of course, Steve points out something that here's kind of thing with Steve Trevor. He's never putting this out though about Diana. The fact she's tall. Yes. This is something that has never been pointed out though about her. Is that generally she's always taller than Steve. But it's never been stated. I'm glad the fact Kelly Thompson basically pointed this out, though. So, and of course, she ran with Steve. Of course, like, is there a hidden relationship basically between them? Well, none at this point. No, it's like they're close. But I'm sure Steve probably has a thing for her because she's hot. Because generally put like a lot of the versions of Wonder Woman tend to fall for Steve Trevor. And then of course we need Barbara Minerva, who in this universe is a reporter. Yes. Not a she's not a she's generally she's like a rogue archaeologist, but depicted a lot of the time. And interesting, and of course we have one point we have Wonder Woman just loses her arm. Yes, she loses her arm, which could explain we got the jump. And of course, she gets it back, gets a mechanical arm, meets Barbara Minerva, and at some point she gets her arm back somehow. And Eda Candy's universe is black. So, the thing is with Eda Candy is that in the new now generally put she was picked as white and a bit chubby. In the post-crisis continuity, she and Steve Trevor fell in love and they got married. Which I thought that I'm like, really? And here's the weird thing. According to, I heard something about George Perez, he did want to have the wedding happen in his last issue, but then he was told, no, we couldn't do that. We had to have basically Willie Mr. Lopes do it. And it kind of delayed for a while. But I don't know if he did or not. It's been a while since I read it. So, and it's kind of interesting, though, that in the original universe, Cersei was always an animated Wonder Woman. In the post-Rebirth continuity, Cersei is Wonder Woman's friend. Different take on the character, which I do appreciate that. I don't mind different takes, per se, but as long as they kind of feel like the real character, it's fine. Also, Wonder Woman's got this big hunking sword, which design-wise, when I see this blade here, like here's the image in the back, I see it. It looks like basically like Zabuza, like the execution blade from Naruto. I wonder if basically the artistic inspiration from that, except it's a much more thinner blade than that one. That one's basically huge. Also, she's got her arm back somehow. Yep. And then she battles Medusa, which of course, well, she's a Gorgon. So, turns to stone. And slightly different interpretation from Medusa. Yes, they've had a snake thing with her. A lot of the time I've seen versions where she's kind of a snake. Sometimes she's a woman with the snake hair, but she has like a blindfold on because, mainly because basically if she looks at somebody, they turn to stone. Sorry about that, that's my nose. So last Amazon was actually the first few issues, and we have this feature. Looks like we have Wonder Woman meeting up with, looks like Hades, and tells her to strip down to this, basically as the armor, and to go on quest. And shows the fact the artist draws Diana to be very ripped. So, then, I'm not sure why, she has to go to Mount Prometheus to free this giant. Okay. Yep. Has to free him with this big axe, which she does. And they say this is Pegasus. I'm like, that is a skeleton horse. That is not Pegasus. Pegasus is this white horse with wings. And they wonder if I have Basilisk, which of those was really cool. And then, of course, she reunites with basically her adopted mother, Cersei. Lots of Greek stuff in here, but overall, this was fantastic. I appreciate, though, the fact that Kelly Thompson has the feel of a classic Wonder Woman story mixed with much more Greek mythology. Really good. I give this book roughly 9 out of 10. Okay, so next up we have is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, The Last Ronin 2 Re-Evolution. Yep, the sequel miniseries to The Last Ronin. A book that did gangbusters for IDW. This is the sequel. Surprisingly, not follow-up. There's no follow-up to this one. Well, they did first their prequel book, The Lost Years, which took place years prior to the events of the miniseries. And here we have the sequel. Kevin Eastman and Tom Walsh, basically the writers of this book, with Esu, Isaac Ezra, and Ben Bishop as the artist. With Kevin Eastman, yeah, we get some Kevin Eastman stuff in here. And this book is only 5 issues. Yep. So then we first start with Casey Jones' daughter, where she's dressed like this now, and basically they're still dealing with, like, they mentioned all Red Skies at Dawn. Basically, she was various different gangs, and of course, basically with flashback to the Turtles fighting the Shredder. What looks like to be in the classic IDW continuity, because I think it's been kind of confirmed this particular series takes place in the future of the IDW continuity. Yes. So, yeah, and April O'Neil basically is still alive, but she's much older because her husband. Because Casey Jones is. Here's the thing. Casey Jones is dead. Also, Jenka's alive. Yes, Jenka's alive. So, of the turtles, because it was kind of revealed in the first miniseries that who is the mysterious turtle who survived? Is it Leonardo? No. Donatello? No. Raphael? No. It was Michelangelo. I think for a lot of people, the way the characters were like, really? That's Michelangelo? Yep. So yeah, we have New Generation Turtles. They're basically... It's a great book, and apparently Casey's daughter is... got a lot of muscle on her. Yeah, and also for some weird reason, no April in this book. Apparently this is supposed to be April, despite the fact the artist makes her look like a guy. Yeah, I don't know why. It's weird, because... Let's see if I can find a picture of her. Because they claim that this is April O'Neil. Yes, this, what looks like to be an old man, is apparently April O'Neil. And apparently it looks like she has a version of, like... Okay, so I got Zenton. I'm sure he's probably loose based on Baxter Stockman's. And there's also a huge story appears in this book too. Okay, so close look. Yeah, this kind of looks like April, definitely with the hair. But it's like the way the character is drawn here. It's like clearly this looks like a guy, but apparently, if you look closely at the chest, despite the fact in some shots it looks like a guy, it's a girl apparently. I get the fact she's supposed to be thin and older. Okay, so then also... So April's daughter is also named Casey as well. I wonder if they got an idea for that from the Rise TMNT series, which I wasn't really interested in that one. So yeah, she got a boyfriend here, which is interesting. So, lots of cool adventures. It definitely feels like basically like a Turtles of the Future. Footer's still kind of around. Shredder was defeated in the previous book. And then we see the robot here. I think it's supposed to be the Fugitoid. Yes, I think this robot here is supposed to be the Fugitoid. Somehow. Conway. I wonder if this guy is named after Jerry Conway. Who knows? So, fighting the Mafia. And lots of really cool stuff here. But overall, it just was really good. Yeah, and it's like, so, yeah, Mikey defeats the previous thing, the previous Foot Clan, and it's kind of a new group basically taking its place. This series overall is really good. I give it 10 out of 10. It's amazing. Okay, so that's pretty much it. Took a video. Please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn notifications. I will see you all tomorrow for my final review for Solo Leveling, along with review for Hero Class, and I believe the other one's going to be Return of Watchmen. Yep, next video. Bye.